Okay, question number 5. The following table gives the weekly snowfall in centimeters for 11 weeks in 2018 at two ski resorts, Deros and Linwa. Deros 6, 8, then these are all the numbers given for 11 weeks. And Linwa, all the days numbers are given for the 11 weeks. It says part A, represent information in back-to-back stem and leaf diagram for the information that's given above. So we have Deros over here and Linwa over here. We will have we have two-digit numbers and one-digit numbers. So we have 0 in the center as the stem, and this is going to be the leaves. So 0, then we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So any number that's less than 10 is going to be represented for the zeros. So we have, and this, remember, this has to be an ordered stem and leaf diagram. So we have the lowest we have over here. So we're going to do for Linwa first. So that's 0. Okay, so that's 0 right over here. So 0 comes over here. Then we have 2. So that's 2. And then we have 9. So 9 comes over here. Now for tens, we have, do we have a 10? We have a 10 and we have 11. So that's going to be 0. So 1, 0 is going to be 10. 1, 1 is going to be 11. And it keeps on going like that. So we have 12. Then we have 15 and 16. So 12, 5, and 6. So that's 10, 11, 12, 15, 16. In 20s, do we have any? We don't have any in 20s. And 30, we have 32 and 36. So 2 and 6. And 40, we just have 40. So that's 40. Now for dados, we have the lowest value we're getting as 6. So that's 6 over here and 8 over here. So we're going to go in this direction. We're going to go in this direction, and for this we're going to go in this direction. So the lowest value comes over here first. So the lowest value always comes closest to the stem over here. Okay, so this is 0, this is 32, so this is going to be 0, 6, 0, 8, and then it goes on. So we have the first 6 and 8, then we have the next value as 10, 10, so there are two tens, so that's 0 and 0. Then we have 12, 15, and 16. So 12, 15, and 16. And then we have in 20s, we have two values, 22 and 28. So that's 2 and 8. In 30, we have one value. In 40s, we have one value. So that's 36 and that's 42. So this is our stem and leaf diagram. Please remember, this is for 4 marks. You have 1 mark for the key. So we have to mention the key over here once you're done with your stem and leaf diagram. And the key we can write as, let's say, 3 in between. So we are representing this. So 3 and 6 and 3 and 2. So we'll say means, this means 36 for potatoes and 32, if we read this as 32 for Linwa. So that's the key. We're telling the examiner how to read this out. So now that's part A done. Part B. Part B is the median and the interquartile range for the weekly snowfall in Deros. The median and the interquartile range. So let's go back to this. We'll need this. How many numbers do we have? We have 11 for each. So we're going to start counting from each end. So we have this as 1, 2. So we strike 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11. So if we have 11 numbers and that's an odd number, so the center value, we're going to have 5 values over here, 5 values over here. So that's going to be the sixth value. So the sixth value we have to count starting from the first value. That's the first value right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the sixth value. So this is our Q2, which is the median. And this is going to be, remember, this is 5. So that's not the median. The median will be 15 because this is 1 and 5. So that's 15 is the median. Now, since we have this as the center value, we have our data into 5 values over here and 5 values over here. So what's the center value of the 5 values? So if we have the 5 values, we'll have 2 on this side and 2 on this side. And we'll have the third value as our lower quartile. So the third value is going to be over here. So if we count this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the first 5 values we have. These first 5 values we have, and we need to find the third value. So the 1, 2, 3. So that's our third value right over here, which is 10. So Q1 is 10. And Q3 we do the same way. So we're going to start counting from here. 1, 2, 3. That's the third value. So that's going to be 2 and 8. That's going to be Q3. That's going to be 28. So since this was the center of our values, and we have 5 values from 6 onwards. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the third value over here. So the third value over here, this is Q1, this is Q2, and this is going to be the Q3, because for the remaining 5 values, they're going to be 2 over here, 2 over here, and this is going to be the third value over here for the remaining 5. So that's what we have done over here. So that's the first value, second value, and this is the third value, which is 2 and 8, 28. So now we have to find the interquartile range. So we go over here on the question. We got Q2 as the median, which was 15. We got Q1 as 10. Lower quartile, we got Q3 as the upper quartile as 28. We have to find I, Q, R, the interquartile range, which is going to be the upper quartile minus the lower quartile, and that's going to give us 18 centimeters. Now part C says the median, lower quartile and upper quartile for the weekly snowfall in Linva are 12, 9, and 32 respectively. Use the information and your answer to part B to compare the central tendency and the spread of the weekly snowfall in Delos and Linva. So if we compare the two data that's given, so we can conclude that on average, the snowfall in Delos is higher, and the amount of snowfall in Linva varies more than in Delos. This has more numbers and more spread. Now remember, please, once you're answering any question like this as a theoretical question, you have to answer in context with the question. So it's snowfall, this, snowfall, potatoes, Linva. So you only get marks if the answer is in context with the same question that's been asked.